All right, so here's what we got. 3 80-watt solar panels. Got some aluminum angle along the side of it, bolted together. 3-in-1 MC4 connector. Still gonna zip tie down these wires and run the main solar power wire there. On the back, this is the part that comes down, clamps with one of those off-road shovel holders. That'll clamp on the back side of the roof rack bar. And then on the front, on the other side, I've got a piano hinge. What's going on, everybody? It's 6 in the morning. It's about 35 degrees in the garage, a little chilly. Today we're going to, sorry, I thought that was a crack in my windshield. Today we're going to redo my roof rack. I threw the RotoTrax up there kind of in a temporary, quick way, just so I could use them this winter. You can see I had to elevate them with some wood to clear the roof rack for the cargo basket. It definitely killed my miles per gallon, so we're gonna take these 2 solar panels and another one, and I'm gonna build them on a frame with a hinge. That way we can angle them up when we're parked and get the most sun collection, and then we can store the RotoTrax and the RotoPax underneath with some more gear utilizing the basket. So right now I'm going to disconnect the solar coming out of my antenna and then take everything off of the roof rack. Also, I'd like to point out that that's tall enough and I clip my garage. You've seen me put this stuff on and off before in my other video, so I'm just going to put it on hyperlapse and you can watch me remove it right now. So I got everything off the roof rack. When I was cutting the zip ties, one came back and shot me in the eye. I was definitely down for a little bit. I'm gonna mock up the stuff, lay down the RotoTrax and the RotoPax up here, lay down the aluminum angle iron, put down the 3 solar panels, and then see how everything fits. All right, so mock layout number 1. This is actually number 2 because I tried this before. Didn't quite go so well. It's mainly the traction board I'm getting caught up on. I don't want to lay one side by side. That's going to be terrible. I might have to for right now. All right, this is what we're looking at so far. Got the 4-gallon packs in the back. RotoTrax on each side. It's not how I originally thought I was going to go. I'm trying to make this work before I leave. All right, I got these LED light bar mounts for roll bars. I'm gonna mount one on each side. I don't know which way yet to mount the bracket. And then I'm gonna run the 36-inch piano hinge across the top too. Take 5. So screwing in these light bar roll bar mounts took a little longer than expected. A lot longer than expected, but I got the piano hinge across the top. Should be bolted to the aluminum angle iron. I got all 3 panels across the top. Another issue I'm running into is I would like to have this flipped the other way so it would drop this lower. Then I wouldn't be able to open it all the way because it would hit this. I'm still gonna raise this end up a bit. I still gotta put on the clips to strap it down. Alright, I got these light bar roll bar mounts mounted upside down. I think we're going to be able to get away with this. I say get away with this because we're cutting it close against the RotoTrax, but it's definitely more low profile and aerodynamic. I'm gonna see if I need a spacer, and then I'm gonna run another plate across this. All right, so I'm gonna do something a little risky, and I'm gonna make my first cut or 2 in the aluminum angle. Is it called angle iron if it's aluminum? Anyway, since that's notched and on the piano hinge here, when I open it up, it won't hit the light bar mount I'm about to take this all off the roof rack, drill the holes, mount the solar panels so we got a nice firm rack going, and then see where I'm clipping underneath so I can add some washers. So I remembered that I had some solar panel mounting brackets tucked away somewhere. And then I found out that I had some hardware, so instead of zip tying all these, I decided to use some nut and bolts, some Loctite washers or whatever you call them. I don't have enough to finish, and it's 3 in the morning, so I'm gonna have to wait until the hardware store opens, but here's what I'm doing so far. All right, here's where I'm gonna install the bolts. I'm gonna drill a hole. First, let's put a safety block there so we don't drill into the solar panel. Figure out where the hole is or where we want it to be. Drill our hole. Line this nice and tight. All right, we got the bolt and washer. Thread that through. Lock nut. Squeeze that together tight. Handy dandy 10mm. Do that 4 more times per panel. Roughly bolted together for the night. I'm gonna try wiring it together. I got these 3-to-1 MC4 joiners. Obviously I'm gonna vacuum all this stuff up and wipe the panels down, and then I'm gonna lay it on the rack and see how it looks. Alright, here's what we're looking like. So this is going to fold up, it's going to come down. We're going to use these rubber clamps, lock it down. RotoPax, RotoTrax. Still got to figure out this a little bit. I could push this down, then the back comes up. I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet. Alright, so it's pretty close. Probably will be close once it's bolted down. Angles on the outside, so when you open it up, it should clear this. Come down here, put a couple shims in, and it's looking pretty level. Let me mock fit this, and then I'll come back and let you know how it goes. Alright, so it's crunch time. I got, I think, 24 hours before my day trip, and then 2 days before my road trip. I'm going through all my nuts and bolts to see what I can do before the hardware store comes open. So I got these 2 right now. I'm going to thread them through the light bar roll bar mounts. Bolt them through there. Trim up this angle. Boom. Trim this up a little bit more. Sorry, this is kind of rushed. Not like my normal videos. So I got this, the piano hinge, and then I'm gonna leave about 1 inch of the angle, so when you tilt it up, it should clear. Eventually I might lift it up 1 inch, so then when you lift it at 45, it'll hit evenly with the light bar roll bar mount. But for right now, I'm just gonna do this. So I ordered one of these piano hinges a couple months ago when I tried to do this before and it wasn't working out, so I sent it back. I ordered another one, and I don't know if you can tell, but this one is flexing. It is not as strong as the other one I ordered on Amazon. Still looking pretty good though. Alright, just got back from the hardware store, picked up some more materials. I might need to go a second time, but I should be able to get this bolted up and hinged in, we'll say, about 30 minutes. And then I'll worry about strapping it down on the back tomorrow. What's going on? It's day 2.5, or at least I slept 2 times when I started this. Looking almost finished here. We got the piano hinge. Like I said, first one I ordered off Amazon was pretty thick. This one seems flimsy. So I'm gonna go back to the hardware store and get a 1-inch aluminum flat bar to run underneath this. Come along back here. I'm gonna trim these off. See, I got the straps mounted. They were working out pretty good. And then my only issue is when I lift this up with one side, it's still kind of flexed. So I'm gonna put 2 supports going down the middle. You know, one going down here, next one going down here, and then I'll wire everything up. And then we should be looking pretty good. When I come back from my trip, I'll probably paint this black or get some stickers or do something. So I'm gonna trim these off, mount the back bracket, mount the gas tanks, and then I'm gonna go to the hardware store, wrap this up. Boom. All right, just came back from hardware store trip number 2. Got some more pieces. I'm gonna take this off, hopefully the last time. Get a aluminum flat bar across this under the hinge, give it a little more extra support right there. Then we're gonna come back, trim these off right to the edge of the solar panel, and then add a support down the middle, so if I lift it up with one hand it doesn't flex anymore, cracking the solar cells. And then I'm gonna wire the cabling up underneath and hook it back up to the car, and we should be good. I'm gonna leave tomorrow night. Oh, and then I might put the diffuser back on. All right, so here's what we got. 3 80-watt solar panels. Got some aluminum angle along the side of it, bolted together. 3-in-1 MC4 connector. Still gonna zip tie down these wires and run the main solar power wire there. On the back, this is the part that comes down, clamps with one of those off-road shovel holders. That'll clamp on the back side of the roof rack bar. And then on the front, on the other side, I've got a piano hinge. Bam, I just did my cable management. Zip tied her all down. I'm gonna go take the car outside and bolt this down and plug her up. So back when I first wired my solar panels on my roof rack, I trimmed off about 4 feet of the wire. Guess what I need right now? 4 feet of the wire. It's Saturday. I can't get it shipped here overnight. It takes at least 2 days. There's not any solar supply stores around here, so I guess I can crimp the wire together to extend it, but it's not something I really want to do. But since I'm leaving in a day, I'm gonna have to get it done. So I just got back from a 1,000-mile road trip. I think I misplaced the memory card of finishing this off. Let's see my wiring. Basically the 3 solar panels tied into the 3-in-1. Then it goes down the center, and then it goes down the center of the roof rack. Zip tied all along underneath. comes through, and then back in the trunk. These are not secured in any way, but they are low enough. If I flipped them upside down, you can see the nubs. Prevents them from sliding back and forth, and then there's enough pressure from the solar panel bracket on top of them where they don't slide around. So I didn't need any mounting hardware for that. And then what I didn't get to show you, because I lost the memory card, was I put the 1-inch aluminum flat bar underneath the piano hinge to give it some more strength, because this one I received, like I said, was pretty flimsy. And then I bolted the one end of the piano hinge to the light bar roll bar mount, and the other end I bolted to a 36-inch piece of aluminum angle, and then that's bolted to the aluminum angle that goes all the way across the bracket. So I still need to add a locking hinge or a gas shock, obviously, instead of using a piece of wood. And my only complaint about the whole thing was I added the diffuser on there, flew off, went bye-bye. Put the Thule clamps on it. I even drilled some more holes and zip tied it on. Flew off. My miles per gallon did increase compared to the last setup, you know, where the RotoTrax was going across the back. Obviously, I knew that wasn't the best idea to do. So my miles per gallon were pretty good until that flew off, and then I literally watched it drop by 5. I don't want to say like what my miles per gallon are, because, you know, I got bigger tires and some other modifications on the car. You can't really get a fair estimate of how many MPGs I have with just the roof rack alone. But this is curved, so I'm sure that helps. When the diffuser was on there, that definitely helped. I got the Evo bar. It's not like the finished one, but it's not the square bar either. And then this isn't helping either, the flat surface. Eventually I'm gonna taper that off, make it like a torpedo. How did the solar work? I mean, 2 panels were enough so far, so 3 was a lot of overkill. I didn't bother tilting it up. I did do it for the photo, I'm not gonna lie. But I do need to prop it open with a gas shock or a hinge so I could at least get all my recovery gear. If the shock isn't too much in the way, I might put something else in the center. And then instead of 2 pieces of flat bar, I ended up using a C channel. The 1-inch flat bar, aluminum flat bar, like flexed too much, so the C channel was much stronger. I might even add another one, maybe space them out, because it still has a little flex but not too much.